Hey, y'all, welcome back. In our episode last week, we discussed what to create for your newsletter opt-in and ideas that I started with years ago when first entering the scary world of email marketing. By the way, I want to let you know that it's not nearly as scary as you might think or as much as we blow it up in our minds. So today, I want to share something I suggest you do before creating your first newsletter opt-in, or possibly you already have one and it's time to hit refresh and create a new one, which I've mentioned before is an ever-evolving process as we grow and define our audience and our own passions for serving in the online world. By the way, be sure to check out our free upcoming brand voice workshop. The link is in the show notes, and you're going to want in on this. It will help you to define and pinpoint specific things, not only about your target audience, but you yourself and what to tap into that your audience will respond to because it's uniquely you. And now I give you 5 ways to narrow your niche. Surprise! It's what you need to do before creating that newsletter opt-in. And now, listen in.
Welcome to Authentic Online Marketing with Ruthie Gray. Growing awareness for your blog, podcast, book, or product involves more than dancing to reels and yelling, "Buy my thing." This show models quality over clamor so you can put your spin on your message and market in a way that feels authentic to you, because nobody wants to sound like an infomercial. And now, here's your host, Ruthie Gray.
Okay, so we're talking about 5 things to do before creating your newsletter freebie specifically related to niching down, which I believe is very necessary. And just know that this list of 5 things isn't exhaustive, but it is a good start, and it's the way I map out where I'm going when creating newsletter opt-ins. Here we go. Number 1, notice who's responding to your content. Where are you posting content? Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, podcast, blog, and who is commenting? Or who isn't commenting. Sometimes it's not who you originally set out to reach. Maybe it's an older crowd, or maybe they're younger. When I took my pivot from my parenting blog, I expected the same young mom crowd to come over after my content for Instagram education, but after posting consistently for a time, I realized it was the baby boomer crowd, my age and a little younger. Dun, dun, dun. It's not what I expected, but that's what I got. And that was okay, but I had to readjust my thinking and my terminology. Number 2, notice what topics you naturally write or speak. In Writing Down the Bones by Natalie Goldberg, the author says, "Your main obsessions have power. They are what you will come back to in your writing over and over again, and you'll create new stories around them. So you might as well give in to them. They'll probably take over your life whether you want them to or not, so you ought to get them to work for you." I love that. That's so powerful. So what topics, even if you're not a writer, what topics do you speak about? You have a natural gravitational pull towards certain life subjects, passions, thoughts, and opinions. What are they? Do you feel free to share them? Why or why not? What would happen if you did? These are signs to pay attention to because they are pointing the way to your niche. Test them out. See what your audience responds to. It could be a gateway to your target audience. Number 3, poll your audience on Instagram. The poll sticker in stories is your BFF for market research. If you don't know a lot about stories, go back a couple episodes to where I shared what to share in stories. Ask followers about their passions in your polls. Ask them about their likes, dislikes, and opinions, especially opinions. They will always answer you about those. and be open to that. See if your obsessions we just talked about intersect with theirs. What are key pain points? Ask these questions in many different ways and not just one time. Keep asking and keep the conversation going. Your community will tell you what they want, but you must be willing to invest time in research instead of plowing ahead with what you think they want. If you don't, you could largely be missing the mark and wasting your time. Is there a need for what you're offering? Are they picking up what you're putting down? To quote a 70s phrase, are they hip to your jive? Number 4, keep posting and posting reels. Test, test, test. Consistency will be the factor that points you in the right direction. If you're consistently posting and followers are responding, even if it's only to certain posts, that is data. If you're consistently posting and no one is responding, that is data. You will have zero data without testing. And in this case, testing is posting and niching. And at this moment in time, in summer 2022, Reels are your best form of posting and gleaning responses. And the second top-rated format after Reels is carousels. Number 5, ask for input from trusted peers. It's easy to believe in something that you feel is super important to share when it's in your own mind, but be willing to open up to receive affirmation and constructive input from other like-minded peers. That's the true way to get unstuck and get the ideas flowing. If you don't have a mastermind or a trusted posse, reach out and get a group of 4 to 5 people you admire in the online space and create a Facebook group or join one. There are plenty of free and paid groups on the internet. My own insider mentorship is specific to those who are familiar with Instagram, learn tech easily, have 500 or more followers, are Christian female entrepreneurs, authors, podcasters, or bloggers, and are committed to regular posting and growing their platform. These women have taken great strides to move forward because they're willing to embrace community and ask for support and give support, and they're growing their platforms. You can check out my mentorship on our website at AuthenticOnlineMarketing.com. It's under mentorship. Be open to community because community grows opportunity. Don't be afraid to niche down. And consider this from HubSpot.com. By focusing on a small audience, your business will be able to stretch its resources further and bring in customers who are closely aligned with your offerings. Those are the people who need your product most and are therefore most likely to convert and remain loyal customers. Trying to target everyone will only frustrate your newsletter freebie creation efforts. Trust me. So before tackling that newsletter freebie or opt-in, notice the demographic responding to your content. It may not be who you think it is. Tap into your obsessions, those topics you naturally gravitate towards, and see how you can incorporate them into your content by polling your audience in stories and consistently posting in your feed. Don't forget to use Reels because that's what the algorithm is pushing right now. And finally, ask for input from trusted peers. And one last thing that's super important that will help with all of this. Sign up for our brand voice workshop coming soon. Inside this free workshop, I'll teach you how to identify and authenticate your unique brand voice. This will help you reach that target audience you've been searching for and help you pinpoint your own unique, authentic voice we're always talking about at the end of every podcast. You have a lot to offer the world, friend, and most of it is right under your nose. You're already doing it because it's part of who you are. Let me help you figure it out in the Brand Voice Workshop. Thanks so much for listening today. Now go sign up for that workshop and remember to share your unique message your way in your own authentic voice. We'll see you next week.